Alright, I'm going to work on this little Maytag today, and what I'm going to try and accomplish is the end of this shaft here was snapped off here. There should actually be like 18 or 20 threads, and there's only maybe about 6 there. So my original plan was, first off, I found a bolt, the same thread. That's a half inch 20 thread, and what I originally was going to do was make this flat and then drill a hole in there, a 1/4 inch hole, and tap it, a 1/4 28, and then get a bolt like this, and then cut half it down on the lathe to a 1/4 inch and then thread it, and then I could just screw that in there and Loctite it, and that would be okay. And then put a big nut on there, and that's what Maytag had on there. But I had a little change of plan here. I'm going to face this off, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and do this without taking that crank out, because I got to disassemble that whole thing. Take both heads off, disconnect all the connecting rods, take the base off, and then disconnect the block from the base, and you literally got to take that whole thing apart. So I'm going to try and do this without doing that. Like I said, I think I might just fix this and pass it on, let somebody else restore it. So here's our new game plan. Oh yeah, another way I'm going to face it off. I'll show you this. I'll put you up on a tripod to show you, but I'm going to just square this bolt off, face off both ends of this bolt, and I'm going to face off one end and then put like a little hole in there. Like most crankshafts have holes in the side from when they do the machining. It's like this. This one here has a tiny little hole. That's so it could be held on a lathe. So I'm going to make it look like it did originally. So let me throw you up on a tripod and I'll explain to you a little more. Alright, yeah, I was able to clean these threads up enough that when you put this flywheel on, there's about 2 threads sticking out, and that would actually be enough. There we go. It would actually be enough to hold that on. But actually, if you look, where you at? You see this here? That sticks out proud. That's about 1/8 of an inch. I could grind that off there. That's just what a steel part that they molded the aluminum around. But it actually has 2 purposes. If you look at it, right here, it's actually a D shape. I don't know how well you can see that, but this is a flat end here, and that actually holds a pulley on, so when you bolt the pulley on, the pulley won't slip. So instead of compromising a good flywheel, that's about the only good thing on the engine. Instead of compromising that, like I say, I'm going to cut this down. There should be 20 threads in this, 6 on here, and when I flatten it, it's going to be about 3. So I think once I get both ends flat and everything, I should be able to hold that in place, and a little dirt bike should be able to weld that. He's that good. And then I could even, after he welds it and everything, I clean it up and then just keep running a tap down over that, and it should be fine. So I think that's the way to go, and it'll be stronger, and it'll be a better job. So alright, what I'm going to go over to the lathe and cut this and face off both ends, and like I say, and put a divot in one end. So we'll show you that when we get back. Also, while I got you here, what I was going to do, I can't put a nut on there. What I wanted to do was put a nut on there and then drive it on far enough and use this as a flat, so I can hit this with a grinder and make that edge as flat as possible. But Like I say, I only have 4 threads here, and all the bolts are about 8 threads. So I was able to find this castle nut here, and if I cut all the little castle tops off of there, I can actually put that on backwards, and I'll have a flat face here to use. So I'll actually have to try and cut that off. I'll probably cut that off on a sander. Alright, I'll do that while I'm going too. Alright, we'll see when we get back. Alright, I sanded that castle nut down pretty flat. I'm going to put that towards the back though and use this factory end on the front here. I wanted to do this first so I could see. Once we grind this down, we'll see exactly how many threads we got and how many we'll need. Okay. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that's on one end. It's almost flush there, and then you got a knob up top here. So, like I said, I'm going to grind that flat and try and keep off of that nut. And then when I do get down there, keep that flush as possible. So, all right, let me do that. Alright, yeah, I came down till I just touched that nut, so actually feels pretty good, but I'm going to hit that with a file anyway. Alright, let's say that's about as flat as I'm going to get without putting it in a lathe. Alright, yeah, it looks good. Alright, now I'll know exactly how many threads I'll have to cut. Yeah, I think it's going to be nice. Alright, I'll see you when we come back from the lathe. Alright, I made that little stud. Put the hole in the front there and made it look like it was part of the crank. Chamfered the edge there a little bit, made that look good. And here's the flat end. I put a chamfer on that, you know, a pretty good one, so you'd have a V cut. Little dirt bike would have a little V cut in there to put a good weld. But I'm not feeling it, because I'll probably hold it just like this while he welds the top. And I'm not able to feel it properly, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chamfer off of this and just keep it flat, and I think I'll be able to feel it better. Alright, let me try it. I'll be back. I cut that chamfer off, and it feels a lot better. So I could let him tack the top, and then we'll spin it around, tack the bottom, and if I don't think it's getting enough penetration, you know, I can groove that out with a die grinder, but I think it'll be okay. And let's see what it's going to look like. About a thread there. Like I said, there's supposed to be a pulley that goes there. But that should be okay. That'll look good when it's done. Alright, let's continue on. Let's do something else. Alright, yeah, little dirt bike ain't gonna be here for another 4 hours or so. So what do you say we take the fuel tank off and look at that valve, that check valve. I got 5 of these bolts here to take out, so let me take them out and then we'll turn you back on just before we're ready to pop it off. Alright, we're all unbolted here. I'm not going to worry about the gasket because I can feel it down here. Looks like somebody might have used a cereal box. You know, cereal boxes I think are good for templates and stuff. Probably could have got away with a gasket up here, but when it's in contact with gas and or anything wet, you know what happens to a cereal box when it gets all wet and soggy? It's pretty much useless. So, alright. Oh, there we go. I thought I was gonna have to hit it. Alright. Oh wow. Look at that. Check valve looks pretty good. I'll have to, you know what's nice about the Maytags? We're gonna put this, we're gonna sit this down for a second. You know what's nice about the Maytag check valves? They separate. You could actually take the bottom off of there and make sure that everything is working. Oh. Alright, let me put this down. I'll stand it up like that. Now I stand it up over here out of your way. Okay. Huh. It's actually... Yeah. Wow. This must have been a real heavy oil mix. More than it was meant to, because all the gas evaporated and the only thing left is oil. But getting back to your cereal box here. Look at this thing. I'm sure it leaked. Oh well, we'll put something back there. Alright, well the inside of the tank looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Alright, I guess all we do now is wait for my welder to get here, and then we'll show you what that looks like when it gets done. Alright, I cleaned that oily mess up there. It's, I think it was more oil than it should have been, you know. I don't remember what the mix was on these things. I think it might have been like 16:1, which is a lot. And I looked like maybe it was a little too much. But anyway, I turned this engine up on end here to take the check valve off here. You know, that comes right off, and that was good. And that was odd to me. Usually they're all clogged up. But I turned it up, and then I look in here, and I'm getting something shine on my face here, like a mirror. And I look in there, and that piston, somebody shined that up. So somebody must have had this engine apart and never had it running again. So I don't know what's going on with it. But anyway, I just got a message on my text machine from Little Dirt Bike. He's not going to make it tonight. So we'll do this all tomorrow night. He'll be over here tomorrow night. So I'm going to pack it in for now. And I'll see you guys then. Alright, it's the next day, and I'm working on the Maytag here. And I got my H welder here.
Oops.
And look what we brought with him, doing some research. Here we go. Alright, here was my plan. My plan was, put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on. Sorry about that. Alright, what I was going to do, I was going to sort of hold this in place here so Little Dirt Bike could put a couple tacks on it. And he was looking at it, and he came up with a brilliant idea. He says, how about if you put a clamp from front to back, and it will hold that in place.
You missed a step.
What was that?
The most important step.
What's that?
The alignment step.
Oh, yeah. Put that on, buddy.
Gotta put this nut on here.
You're gonna put the nut on.
And you're gonna screw it all together. Screw that down. Then you put your clamp on.
Right. So now it's absolutely perfect. And not only is it perfectly straight, but the threads are lined up. So if I ran a tap over this, it would just keep going right into them threads, and it would be perfect. So he said get a clamp, and the only clamp I had was this bar clamp that would be long enough. And I knew I was going to have trouble with that that backing plate. Take that backing plate off for a second, buddy.
All right. Loose.
No.
All right.
There's only one bolt holding that on. That's good. Take it off all the way. Here we go. All right, so we were all stoked. And then I go to put the clamp on, and the clamp is about, well, the block gets in the way, and that clamp is about ½ inch short. So we were deflated for a second. But then Road King came up with another idea. Put it back on, buddy.
All right.
This is where I love brainstorming. You don't know what you're going to come up with. That's why it's always good to have more than 2 people working on something. Okay. Road King said, you know, you got the backing plate here. I said, how about if we find a gear puller to put on there and mount right there? And that worked perfect. So we're going to set this up, and little dirt bike is going to try and weld it for us. But the only problem we had then, well, I'll show you. Let's put the clamp on and we'll show them.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we put the gear puller on there, and it's holding this bolt in place. Now we're going to back that nut off. Back that off, buddy.
All right.
You can't work from that side?
Yeah.
Then I'll go over there. All right. Switch. Okay. Put some light. You know what? Turn that light on above your head, buddy. I just installed some lights because it was kind of dark. I had some dark spots. Alright, so right now that's lined up perfect. And it's so perfect you can't hardly see where to weld it. So now I could actually put my chamfers back on there, and that'll give you a V-cut and give us the best penetration we can get. Alright, let's do that. Alright, we're all set here. Got our little chamfer in there and a little V-cut. Now it's all up to you, buddy. I already told these guys, you know, you're the only one I would trust with this. My ace welder. Alright. Little dirt bike put 4 tacks on it, so it shouldn't move now. So now he's just going to go and put a nice weld around the rest of it. That looks good, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Pretty good.
That looks pretty good, buddy. Okay. Put that straight. Alright. Yeah, I don't think you could have done any better, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Alright. I'm gonna, if you guys leave, or tomorrow, I'll probably grind that down and run a die over it. That should come out perfect. Nobody probably even know if I didn't show it to millions and millions of people right now. So yeah, it's engine night, and we're going to continue. We'll probably jump onto something else now. So I'll see you guys when I start working on it. All right. Yeah, it's been a couple days now, so I'm going to tape these threads up around here, and then I'm going to grind this blob of weld down, and then we'll cut them threads back. cut that down with the Dremel as much as I could till I hit the tape, and now I'll get it with the file, and that should be pretty good. Let me dig around with this a little more. Remember, the file is your friend. Alright, yeah, I got that file down about as good as I can. Let's give it a try here. Put a little tap magic on there. It's good stuff here. Put a link in the description if you guys are looking for it. You know what? Put a little diaper here on the bottom here so I don't mess up my table. This stuff stinks. Alright, I don't know how well it's going to cut here, because I'm going to have to hold the other side. There we go. Start to cut now. Alright. It's cutting, but I'm going to have to get something to hold this other side here. Ugh. Yeah, let me get a pipe wrench or something for that other side. Alright. Yeah, I got something. I went over, I tried to get a big pipe wrench, put it on here, but it wouldn't open big enough. So then I got a big chain wrench, and that went on there and it held pretty good, but it was slipping, it wasn't holding. So then I seen this little cotter pin up here, and I thought maybe if I just stick a piece of wood under that, like that, that would stop it. And sure enough, that was enough just to keep it from spinning. But ran into another problem here. I was using this die here, and it's sharp, and it was cutting and everything, but it started getting a little hard, you know, and I started getting a little worried. So I went and I got one of these split dies and opened it up a little, and I was going to take it, and you know, I got 90% of the threads cut that I needed, and it was good, because then you just tighten up, you chase it and then you tighten it up and you know, run it over a couple times. But I put a little too much ass behind it and I broke it, snapped it off. And it was actually a good weld there, you know. A little dirt bike did a great job welding it, but you know, I ground 90% of it off, and then wasn't much holding it. But like I say, it was on there good, you know, because I was really putting some ass behind it. So, all right, I'm gonna clean this up and get it ready. I'm gonna weld it back on. I really don't need them threads there, so I'm not gonna mess it. I'm gonna file them down and make it smooth, and you know, the flywheel will go over it, and there's plenty of threads there for what I need. So I'm just gonna weld that on there and forget about the threads. So there you go. It's just a little setback. No worries, right? Stuff happens. All right. I'm not that disgusted, so like I said, I'm just going to clean that up and get a little dirt bike over here, redo it, and we'll be back in business. So, all right, what do you say? Enough of this? All right. See you guys later.